I'm Glenn Young, Amazon's fitness magazine. Celebrate the female physique. AmazonsFitMag.com. This video is brought to you by Phase Up Nutrition, against all odds. PhaseUpNutrition.com. And of course, GPS photography and video. Why photography and video? Because if a photo's worth 1,000 words, video's worth 1,000,000. I'm on set with Amanda Snooks in Orlando. Just finished shooting. How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm good. So I'm glad to shoot today. Glad that you could sit down. Obviously, you're in the off season. That's something that we talked about. Competitors shooting in the off season.
Yes.
And I think it's a great thing because you got to love yourself 24/7.
That's exactly right.
And that's just the way it is. Plus, what people don't understand, when you shoot off season with the photographer, you build that chemistry.
Right.
And so just like you do, you send your shots in the morning to your coach, your progress shots,
Yeah.
right? I think you should do a progress photo shoot
Right.
at the 4-week mark, the 8-week mark, 2-week mark.
That's actually a really good idea.
And so you track you all the way through your prep, along with video as well. So
Right.
that's my thoughts on it.
And I think that for females, it's a little bit harder to be in off season.
Mm-hmm.
Categories where you have to put on a lot of size is hard for a woman to adjust to.
Right.
Because you're always going to put on fat somewhere.
Mm-hmm.
And just like, training and diet, we can't spot reduce anything.
Mm-hmm.
We can't also, make sure we don't put fat in places that we don't want it. So it's definitely hard for a woman to accept that we're going to be a little chunkier
Right.
than what we're used to. But I think too, it's like, making sure that you have a good coach and you have somebody to be accountable with, and that you're not going too far off the rails of
Right.
what your normal diet would be.
So when you come out of prep, it's a way that you got to progressively do it.
Right, it's like a reverse diet, so you like gradually will up the calories and stuff like that, so that your body, isn't in shock, and that you don't retain a lot. Because it's very easy to do if you go off the rails, put on 20 pounds in a few days, and then you're like, now what?
Yeah.
Now I have to do a little body recomp to try and get back what I just, destroyed.
Right.
So.
And like in the first issue of Amazon's, we had Teresa Moda on the cover.
Yeah,
that was an
beautiful.
all-season shoot.
It was beautiful.
And one of the things that she had talked about along with Serena Barish was body dysmorphia and the show blues. And it really is a real thing.
It is.
And how do you combat that? How do we combat that? What do you tell fans? What do you tell yourself? And bottom line, you work all these muscles all year, but no one's talking about the mental. Is this a thing where you need to go get counseling? See a psychologist, because the brain is a muscle too.
Right.
But you got to keep it in shape as well. What's your thoughts on that?
It depends on where you are in the spectrum, I guess. A lot of us have come, and I was just talking to Meredith about this morning, is like, a lot of us had eating disorders prior,
Right.
or stuff like that. I did struggle with anorexia when I was younger. It's something still that you're always going to have to deal with. It never goes away. You just learn tools to how to cope with it. So I think knowing and keeping things accountable and still that type of structure helps. So, don't take the cardio out, or, making sure that you're still working. Things like the photo shoots to
Right.
keep you, feeling good about yourself, feeling sexy, feeling feminine, stuff like that, where it can keep you accountable but also make you feel good. In the off season, I have different clothes that I usually wear in the off season than I do in prep,
Right.
so that I don't feel like I have to force myself into something and make myself feel bad for not being able to fit into it. So there's different things that you can do that keep you accountable. A good coach too, like I said, always keep you on the right track.
Yeah.
But mentally too, I think, not
Should you
talking.
seek counseling with someone? Obviously, everybody has different levels.
Right.
But it can throw you into a depression.
It depends on where you're at. Personally, I had to go through a lot of counseling for not only my mental disorders, but like things that happen to me in life.
Right.
So it always helps.
Right.
It always is great to talk to somebody who can give you tools to adjust. I mean, it's never a bad thing. People always think like, oh, therapy, that's the worst thing because it has a bad rap.
Right. Stigmatism.
Right.
Yeah.
But honestly, it's the best thing that you can do, talking to somebody. All of us girls reach out to somebody that is competing. We're all, we have camaraderie in this industry, which I love. We're all here to support each other. So, you know what? Talk about it with someone. Talk about it. Reach out to them. You'll be interested to know that we all deal with the same things.
Right.
And it's like a broad spectrum. We've all dealt with it. We've been there and done that. We know how to cope. So we could also give you a lot of tools and a lot of understanding on how to deal with it.
Shifting gears, when you look at the season, competitive season is coming to an end. As Nationals is going on as we speak. The Olympia in less than 8 days or so. Give me what went right, what went wrong, what could have been better, from not that many shows to the head shows with small numbers at the shows of women's bodybuilding, to things like taken out of the Arnolds, now figures out, women's bodybuilding is out, women's physique is out. Wrap up. Take a look at that from the whole season, from January to now. What's your thoughts?
I would say, for me, it's hard to notice that the categories that you love the most that you're in is starting to get taken out of a lot of the important shows, like the Arnold. And I feel like as long as we have more support and things like this magazine help bring women to the forefront that have lots of muscle, that need the support that we don't get. We don't get, any of the accolades. And also, prize money, for instance. That the men get. You're more apt to see a man bodybuilder on the cover of a magazine than you are a muscular woman. So
we're gonna change that.
You did. You're the one that changed it, which honestly, from the bottom of my heart, I'm really thankful for, because that actually proves to people that we're here. We're here to stay. We're not going anywhere. We're honestly, people might not like us. They might not like to look at us, but
get over it.
Yeah. So, and we do have a wide range of fans.
You do.
We have supporters. We have fans. They want to see us on magazines. They want to see, one of their favorite athletes in a magazine spread, and articles about them, how to learn about them. Ways to support them. Whether you can get a online subscrition, you can get it in print.
Yep.
We're just talking about getting a booth.
Yeah.
So
And just going to keep pushing it. We got 6 covers 6 months out the year, but what people don't understand, the online subscribers get more because, one, they get video clips, but they also get in between issues. So they initially are getting, or you're seeing 6 in print or 6 that are published online. They're actually getting all 12 because I'm putting stuff up, just like there's stuff up on the site now for the month of December of shoots that I did, because I'm shooting constantly.
Right.
So you can't wait, and then you got to shoot to get the content to make sure that that I'm tracking on all the covers.
So you heard it here first. Get your subscription.
That's it.
Online.
When you look now, how do you fit? What's the fix? How do you get fans out there? Because fans can drive a lot. They can drive a lot. They're the ones that can reach out to promoters. They're the ones that can start the protest, if you will, to say we want to see women's bodybuilding. Because in business, and the promoters are in business, everyone's in business, you got to make money. And if it doesn't make money, that's why they're, personally, they're pulling them.
Right.
So now how do you show that, hey, this is a market, it's a niche market, but it can make money for the industry if you just market it right.
I feel like what we're doing here is a good place to start. Watching it grow, watching the fan base, us as the models advertising, all of our shoots, all of our covers, stuff like that, stuff that's going to be in the newest magazine. I think as long as we're doing our part to make it grow,
Right.
And show people that we're here, and that we deserve the recognition just like anybody else. We work just as hard, if not harder, than any of the categories, any of the male categories. And, we also need that support and that recognition.
Yeah. And for me, the fans, and there's a lot of closet fans out there, because I've been hey, great shoot. Do you have a picture? Hey, so get a subscription. I love it, but I've never gone to a show. Go to a show, guy. Buy a ticket, stand in line, and go to a show and see them in person. I think that's too, you say you support them, but you're really not. I
think that's too, as probably the thing that we were talking about with the booth is like, once this magazine really takes off, you can come to like your nearest show in your state and see these women in person.
Exactly.
Get their autographs, take a picture with them, talk to them, learn more about them. You're going to read a lot of the models that are going to be in the magazine have a bio. They're going to read all about them. So, the next step is to go and support them at a show.
But then here's the thing. I look out there, if you're not going out to support the big pros, and I say big pros because there's Wings of Strength and everything that they do is great. And Wings of Strength ambassadors love it. And they're at every show and they have a booth. So if fans aren't going to see them in droves, and some of them are, don't get me wrong, but it definitely could be better. And everybody, Christian Duke was talking about muscle pinups and how that was. So like there was a big calling. I look back and I looked at stuff like Bill Dobbins and all the stuff that he was doing. And so to go forward, you have to go back. Like, what happened? What happened and how do we fix it? And so, when you look at Amazon's, I'm going to try to get that wrong with the big dollars. But, we're talking boosts. And a lot of things is going to be coming up in 2023. So I'm really excited. And I'll gradually reveal that coming up in future videos. And I'll talk a little bit about before this interview ends. But Amanda Snooks. Who is Amanda Snooks? Because you have an interesting story that people don't know that you do.
That's right.
So
that's right. I am a very complex person, and I don't share that with the world. To me, they usually just see me as a bodybuilder. But there's a lot of things that I do. I competitively horseback ride, and I have since I was 3 years old.
Barrel racing?
Barrel racing,
okay.
Yep. I have since I was 3 years old. So, that's part of my life and another one of my passions. I'm a model, and a lot of people will see all of my stuff online. And that's part of my passion.
Right.
I love creating, photos that are beautiful and make people just stop. I love things that are out of the spectrum of what you normally see because I'm a bodybuilder. And I like to put myself in situations that aren't normal for, women's bodybuilding, or, usually you just see a shoot in a gym or somebody in a bikini or whatever. I love to do things that are outside the box. Yeah. So people stop.
And it's not just your body paint shoot or even an implied nude shoot. It's some real creative stuff and ideas that you talk about that we're going to do. So.
Yeah, and that's what I'm excited about is like I have so many ideas in my head that I've not yet to create. So, and that's part of like my passion and creativity. And then I'm also an actress, and that's part of my creativity.
You were an actor. Tell me about that. How long have you been acting?
Oh God, I've been acting since I was probably 7. Yeah.
Can you talk about anything that's upcoming?
We just shot a movie, so I'm really excited about it. It is called House of Cats.
Nice.
It was shot predominantly in Florida. We did some in Vegas, but it was shot in Tampa and Orlando. So the director, her name is Brooklyn Winters, and she is from the Florida area. I actually got sought out by her to be in this movie because she wanted my muscle. So
nice. Well, there you go.
Right.
And that thing is a big thing. I would love to see more women bodybuilders in movies.
Right. I would too. I think that we don't get a lot of recognition when it comes to being in the forefront of a movie.
Right.
We're always in the background.
Right.
They want us as like a bouncer or a security guard or like the hired muscle of some sort.
Exactly. And they tried a little bit with, Amazon's the movies with Wonder Woman and
Right,
stuff.
right.
But then they went up to a point, and then a lot of those girls were actually CrossFit. They weren't necessarily bodybuilders. Not that that wasn't a bad thing. It was a good woman empowerment movie, and that's great. But I just want to see more of it.
But
you
it's
got
the
Wonder
same
Woman, now
thing
what?
that we struggle with now is they don't think what we're marketable.
Yeah.
So to allow that to happen, you just need the right people. And Brooklyn sought me out, and she was like, "I need you in this movie." She's like, "I don't care if you're off season. I don't care if you're ripped. Like, I need you to do this."
That's great.
And we literally sat down and had an open casting, and she knew exactly what part she wanted me to play.
Wow.
And
Can you tell us about the part? Or no?
So the movie generally is about this woman. So it's a second movie from the original first one that she had. So it's about this woman who basically her life story and how she came to be. So the woman was basically a mistress.
Okay.
And a madam. And
Okay.
she ran...
A bordello.
Yes.
Okay.
She ran this... Yeah.
I'm here.
Yeah.
All right, tell me.
She ran this horror house type of thing. And she had and it's set in one town.
Right.
And all of the men in the town are her pawns. So all of the men in the important parts of the town, so they have a mayor and they have like the captain and the police department and stuff.
And they're
like
all
that.
customers.
They all not only are they customers, but they work for her.
Nice.
So
Okay.
it is about a woman empowerment type of movie where it's basically women running the town.
House of Cats.
House of
I'll be
Cats.
looking for that.
It's coming in, I believe, February.
Nice.
Yes.
So what's upcoming for you, the 2023 season? Have you picked out a show? What are your plans? Anything you can talk about?
We have picked out some shows. We're tentatively thinking Masters Nationals in July. I am working with a new coach that I just started working with now.
Right.
His name is Tim, and his brother Adam. They're a newfound resource for me. They're originally from Illinois. They moved to Tampa, both of them, to start their business, and they've been coaching people for 20 years.
Nice.
Honestly, I started just training with him to see if we have a rapport, we can build something, if we have the same ideology when it comes to training and coaching and stuff. And it's honestly been growing great. I work out with him 1 to 2 times a week, and usually it's training legs because that's where I feel like I need the most work. My upper body is usually there. I don't need to grow it yet for what I need to do or accomplish for at least this season.
So you want to work on your legs?
Yes.
Okay.
That's where I need the most work. I need just more definition in the legs, and I need to have bigger glutes and more shredded glutes. So that's sort of what we're working on this year.
Good stuff.
So
Amanda Snooks, women's bodybuilder, but you also do women's
I do
physique.
women's physique as well. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So the things that are coming up for Amazon's fitness magazine is 6 months old. I'm shooting the January issue and working on the print issue for the November cover, or the November magazine, which featured Melissa Guerrero on the cover. But at the same time, like I said, there's stuff that's out there that's already been put up on the website for December to cover that. And we'll see what happens in Nationals. We got a couple more shoots tomorrow, but I can tell you that January issue is going to be fire. You ain't going to want to miss it. As well as the November print issue. Hope to have that out before Christmas. The July issue is available for sale, as well as the September issue. July issue, which featured Teresa Vancic on the cover, and then September issue, which featured Rashana Boswell.
Right.
And so they're actually in ship. More copies are coming in, but you got to order. So as soon as I get in, I got one dedicated fan that's in Raleigh. I haven't forgot about you. You're going to get the first copy out of this next batch, and we'll go from there. And as you might imagine, I'm trying to get shipped off so that Rashana will have them at the Olympia. So I'm hoping to meet that time
awesome for her
as well.
too.
So it's sort of tight. It all comes in planning, but everybody's trying to order something now in print, and they're doing the best they can. It's in production, so coming out soon. And then if I were to go out, I would say, women's bodybuilding and figure is not at the Arnold's, but there's the amateurs. So I may go to the Arnold's just to see the amateurs compete in women's bodybuilding. Then of course you got after that the Charlotte Pro in April. I will be there definitely debating. We talked about this booth thing, but more announcements to come on that. But I'll definitely be at the Charlotte Pro. And then, of course, May 6th and 7th.
Right.
I think the 6th is Saturday. Probably going to be on May 6th right now, tentatively. Mark your calendar. That'll be the anniversary party for Amazon Fitness Magazine. 1 year already.
So I'm so excited.
I'm excited about it, too. Yeah. So, lots of plans in the work. Merry Christmas to everyone.
Merry Christmas.
Want to wish you well and finish up shoots at the Nationals tomorrow. The women will close out tonight. The men compete tomorrow. But all kind of photo shoots for the women tomorrow. So that'll wrap it up as I try to close out this January issue. It's going to be fire. For Amazon's Fitness Magazine and Amanda Snooks, thank you for stopping by.
Thank you for having
Drove
me.
up from Tampa to shoot, so I really appreciate you. And which is nothing because she drove all the way from Tampa to North Carolina for the launch party.
I did.
In North Carolina, so I really appreciate you. I'm Glenn Young, Amazon's Fitness Magazine. Celebrate the female physique. Make sure that you like and subscribe to the channel. And more to come, so stay tuned.